All right, y'all. It's good to be back. Or Tourney, threes Tourney, fourth one out of six for the Elite Circuit. And as a reminder, right, the top four in each of these tourneys make it to that final tournament. And that's for all the marbles, that's for all the glory, whatever you want to call it, everything like that. So I'm very excited to see this one go down. I'm not going to be in it, but that gives me more time to roast you guys and judge you guys, and we get to do it together now, and that's even more fun. Now, you might be wondering why I'm full screen. I've never been full screen before. But obviously part of it is an ego play. We got to get the FaceTime in, right? Got to show off this beautiful face. But part of it is actually because, this guy right here. This light is the shape of a Z. It's our logo, Zoltaba. And backstory is this guy, Surya Mukhtal, gave it to me during Secret Santa this past Christmas. And it was amazing. It was super unexpected. I'm really appreciative of it. So shout out Mukhtal. Really appreciate that, bro. But I could not figure out a way to put it in the background yet until today, when I figured I could just stick it on the top of my weird looking bed frame. Let's keep it at that. So that's gonna stick there for a while, and we're gonna see if we can keep that going for as long as we can. So just want to throw it out there. We'll get into game one now. I'm very, very excited because this game one, featured game one right here, is with some hard hitters for sure. So let's see what we got going. I'm gonna minimize myself here. Let's put it back to the normal size. I guess right there is good. And we're gonna hop in real soon. Now, obviously, we have Alex, Albert, and Dylan here for this game. Alex is obviously the he's like huge for Zoltaba, right? Like co-founder of Zoltaba, everything, right? So he's a big part of what we do here. And last Catan tournament he played was back with ROC3, and that was a very interesting one, very big one, very chaotic, very fun. And he commented on a couple games. He didn't do amazing, but he didn't do horribly either. It was very respectable. This is his first Catan the competition back. So I'm excited to see what he does here. He's placing first. If I'm here, maybe I look for what's rare, and I like wheat, so maybe 10-9-5. But he opts to go for the brick wood, which is fair. You have the brick port at the bottom. 3-for-1 as well, so not a bad spot at all. But definitely foregoing that wheat and ore can be risky in the late game, so we'll see. In blue here, second position, this is Albert, and Albert is obviously a director here for us at Robs of Catan, and for this Ore Tourney, and he's been super helpful, and shout out to him too, right? We'll see where this goes. This should be interesting, right? He goes for the 9-6-10. He's had a lot of experience in this series so far, playing in I think 3 of our tourneys. And definitely going for that, nice, diverse spot, strong production. Can't be mad at it. Now here in orange, this is Dylan, and Dylan has played Catan with us, I think, even from the first ever season, which is crazy to think about. If not that, then the second one. So who knows how long that was? We were just getting going, and it was good to see him, come back and do his thing in these tourneys, and it's going to be exciting to see what he ends up with. And here he decides to forego wood altogether. Now, if you wanted to get some wood, it would be tough. You would maybe go for 4-5-3, but I actually would have gone 4-5-3. I would have gone 8-11-4 at the top, and then 4-5-3, free road, point bottom right, and go for that wheat port. You'll get there for sure. And then also at the top, you have point right to get that to that 3-for-1 port. With that free road, you can do a lot of damage early. But definitely a solid play there too. We'll see if no wood bites him later in the game. Blue here, Albie, going for oh my god, this is super strong. and yeah, just like insane spots of production here. I would be very surprised if he does not come out with a victory here, or just early stage. But black here placing for the free road and immediately cutting off orange, which is huge and super detrimental, because now with no wood production, orange has to build 2 roads to the 3-for-1 port if they want a port. If they want any port, they need to build 2 roads, and that's going to be super, super tough. You're going to have to trade with people. Maybe people don't want to trade. Maybe they'll be super expensive. So you're going to be in trouble here if you're orange long term. It's looking like immediately settling. So this is like absolutely massive. So very active game early, getting the robber on the 10 sheep, which could make sense for sure for orange, just because. You want to hit both the other players, but I would have gone 9 wheat here. Wheat is more important than sheep, in my opinion. And here, orange getting some nice resources. But black here just off to a blazing start, and now has the ability to collect all 5 resources. This is his first game back. He must be practicing. And orange here, getting some good stuff, but it's going to be tough for him long term. And building a road, choosing to not challenge, which makes sense because you don't need that 3-for-1 port if you're black. You can easily get by with much less, let's say. So blue immediately settling, so that was a good decision by black. And so that's a huge city by orange. So obviously orange just had the city production, but still hasn't built a road. So it's gonna be tough because you can city, but you can't dev card. You don't have enough sheep production, so you do need to settle at some point. Hopefully sooner rather than later. If I'm Dylan here, I go for that 5-4. Just get a wood. Either that, or if you can even make it there and beat blue with the race, get that 3-for-1 port with the 8 wheat, 10 sheep. And the solo block on black, and 2 cities immediately for orange. So this is looking kind of dangerous, but now orange will be a huge target. And I'm not sure it's super warranted, actually, because now they can't build any more cities. They're going to have to 4-for-1 for 2 roads, and then 4-for-1 again for a settlement. It's a tall ask, right? You're going to have to get lucky with def cards, if anything. So I wouldn't actually say that this is a fantastic block. I still think that orange is not a super, super major factor until he can settle once more. And black here. Able to settle on the brick, and the robber with the 7. That 8 does have too much power, especially for everyone not named Albie. So yeah, definitely can sense the frustration here. Insane spots for Albie here. In fact, the 10 sheep being blocked doesn't affect him at all. So yeah, I would say they're still in a really, really great spot. They're just lagging behind a little bit. So we're gonna have to see how this thing develops. Now, some of you might be wondering why I sound like this. It is because I have a 102.9 fever. Whether I believe that or not, I'm not really sure. I do think I have a fever. I don't think it's 102.9. This thermometer sucks, so whoever this is, we want to be de-sponsored. I want a negative sponsor from you. So please talk to your people and make that happen. But I do feel like shit, so Maybe that's what you're hearing. Maybe that's what you're seeing. But I got my space heater on right next to me, so I'm nice and toasty. I got my hoodie on. I got the light on in the front. So feeling pretty good. You know, could be worse for sure. And two roads here by Black. It's absolutely huge. Able to eventually connect now for longest road, which I think will be huge because I don't think anyone can challenge them for it. The only person that potentially might be able to is Blue here, but even then, I don't think they're trying to go for it. I think they're trying to city and dev card because I don't think they have quite the brick and wood production that Black will aim to have very soon. So thinking here with 7 cards, possibly thinking about buying a dev card to lower the hand size. And just trading 4 brick for wheat and ore. So potentially here realizing that a city is the next best option, which it is, because once you settle, you cannot settle again if you're Black, because you already have 5 settlements down. So at that point you can only city, so you're hamstrung by your options. So you have to only hope for ore and wheat, and other people will know that and hit your ore and wheat. So this is probably a strategic play by Black here, and obviously Orange has come out of nowhere, and maybe not out of nowhere, but like able to build 2 roads is crazy. Being able to 4 for 1 here twice for 2 roads is crazy, and now they have 3 cities are about to settle on the 3 for 1. It's looking tough. But I will say this is to 12 VP, so it's a long game. It's definitely a longer game. The finish line is further away, so you're going to have to be aware of that. You know, you're going to have to think about what it means for your game in the long term to make certain actions right now, because it's more long term than you might think. And here, and there you go. So Black here getting that city down. So that's absolutely huge for them. They're going to settle quickly. Then road, get longest road, lock it up, and go from there. I think they'll be in good shape. So, and obviously, Blue here aiming to get the 2 for 1 sheep with the extra war production. The issue with Blue's setup here, maybe, is that coordinated 9s are great for cities, but if one of them gets hit, then you're kind of screwed. And when you settle again on the 9 here, it becomes a bigger target, right? You know, that said, the 9 does exist. That said, though, right? Oh, there it is, 2 9s. That said, right, he is not a threat, so he may not be hit in general, so a solo block on the 9 ore seems unlikely, but if he gets going, if he gets the steam rolling, then it'll be tough. Now here, big turn upcoming, it's got to be a city, and it is. And it makes sense. I would city on the left side here. The reason being, I want the extra ore production, and he does do that. On top of that, it is slightly more production in general, and you do have the 3 for 1 port, so every little bit matters. But obviously, right, now it only takes 2 rolls for you to get a city, two 9s to get a city, instead of 3 9s if you citied on the other spot. And these are always weird games, right? When the desert tile is right in the middle. It's very rare because it's completely random, right? So if there are, how many hexes are there here? So we have 4, 12, we have 18 hexes, other than the desert tile, so 19, right? But, so basically that means, like, seeing one of these games happens about 1 in 20 times, right? So it's very, very rare, 5%. Meaning, you know, I think this is an interesting game, because what happens in these types of games is the space really gets weird, right? Even though it's in the middle, the corners right here, so the corners right here, do not actually, I mean, they work out in the very beginning, right? But they don't actually lead to long-term expansion. So here now you're getting stuck along this desert tile. You're being forced to be pushed into this desert tile. And if you have good numbers right next to it, then it's hard to ignore, right? You want to go for those spots. But these games can turn out very strange, and they're very rare. So I think we're in for a treat in general. 8 to 7 to 5 now here. So everyone has a chance for sure. Everyone can definitely get back in it. I think my money is on black here, just because they're going to be able to get a road and keep it. So they'll be at 10 pretty soon. And City, that seems doable. Maybe they could dev card even, right? Yeah, they have tons and tons of options. So black here looking in good shape, and orange is tied, but black does have that dev card in the store, and we'll see if they do anything with it. Should be... Oh, and a dev card, another dev card bot, so... It's not Knight that he had in hand, but now he does go ahead and pretty much lock down longest road here. Now, if blue wanted to cut black off, which is not really worth it, they would have to spend 4 roads to do so. Previously, orange had to spend 3 roads, so it wasn't really worth it either way. He's going to get it very easily. Now, a huge city by blue here. And that's the correct second spot for a city. And the question now for blue is, where do I expand next? And if I'm blue, I think the name of the game is to just settle as quickly as possible, right? Have efficient settlement spots. You're not going to take a road, don't be efficient with the roads. So you could place 1 road on the 9 ore. You place 1 road on the 12-6 at the top left. You could place 1 road on the 5 brick. And those 3 settlement spots will land you 3 points, and more city spots. You might, who knows, you might use that ore core, but probably not. And either way, it's more production, right? So that can't hurt too much. Now, here, black again in an interesting situation. Bought a knight last turn, so using it this turn to get it off the 8 brick and moving it to the 4 ore. So stealing from orange here and rolling it 2. So obviously trying to trade here, but I don't think anyone's trying to trade with the potential leader here. Now, interestingly, with this 3-for-1 port, orange is in a really nice spot. Able to probably lock down largest army at this point. And if that's the case, then it'll be a 2-horse race between black and orange here. But if orange does lock down the largest army, they jump to 10, so they become the visual leader, and that makes them a big target if they haven't been already. The good thing about orange's setup is that even if you hit this 4 ore like they have been, they still have the 6 ore. So they could totally just chill, and they have more than enough production to keep it going. And now, yeah, and see, this is part of the learning curve of this new tourney, right? So we've played 3s before for the wood tourney, and or was it the brick tourney? It was the brick tourney. We've done 3s before for the brick tourney, and that was also to 12. Same settings as this one, but we have some new players here, right? So it's going to be a little bit of a, let's say, vocabulary word insert here. Let's do that. But here we see now orange challenging for road potentially, which is absolutely massive and coming out of nowhere. Now if black can shut the door after this turn, then they're in good shape. But this is a win condition now for orange here, because this is 12. So one more road and they're in good shape. So we'll see. Now black here has to put a road down. And doing just that. So here it remains 10 to 8 to 7. So orange by far ahead, able to have a settlement spot. Could build 4 more rows to potentially take road. I imagine they just settle, and that's more than enough. And again, efficient settlement spots are going to be nice here. So maybe placing 1 road on the 311 at the top of the desert. And nothing much happens here, but obviously black here getting 2 wood. Placing the robber again on orange's 8 wheat, which is absolutely damaging, and yeah, that's a tough spot. We're going to have to see here if black can capitalize on these 9 cards. So now if I'm black, I want to build 1 road up to the 911, because I can't think of a better real spot to put in. But, you never know. I mean, he goes ahead and buys a dev card, which is absolutely fair here. Now actually threatening to take largest army. So this is actually a strong play. And I think this could be over by a couple turns if black is able to steal largest army here. Orange can do nothing but sit and watch as dev card resources come to hand, buying dev cards, but it might be too little too late to defend that largest army. And black here with 9 cards, hoping for no 7s so that they can play a knight and get this thing back. And that will put him at 10. Put orange at 8 with 2 dev cards. And opting to just roll here because it does not want to play the knight unnecessarily, perhaps. Oh, but it looks like he doesn't have a knight, and that is just bad luck. Buying so many dev cards just get exactly 3, which is exactly what your opponent had, and not 1 more. Here, probably getting a city down, if not a dev card. And a city here would probably have to go in the 9-4-2. Oh, but actually playing the robber anyway, the knight anyway. So getting that largest army, and that's going to be tough for orange to climb back from. You're going to need 2 knights in hand there, and yeah, we can see in the chat orange is disparate, and 11 here for black, and that could have been the move that sealed the game for him. Now just trying to city once more, just trying to settle once more, just trying to get 1 more victory point in any way possible. You have all 3 options available to you. Orange getting to 9, but no knights in hand, otherwise would have played it for sure, and that's just tragic. To buy 2 dev cards yourself and neither of them are knights, yeah, it's just tough. But perhaps they're VPs and he's a lot closer than we think. But even so, with 4 cities built, you can't build another city, and you're going to have to road settle on 311. So it'll be a race against time, and that's best case scenario. Seems like black here is chilling with 1 dev card. We hope it's not a knight. I don't think it would be, just from previous play, but it could be something that seals the game right here. I don't know what it could be. It could be road builder, it could be year of plenty, just like orange had last turn. It could be a mono. I don't know if we've seen a mono yet, so I think a mono here to win would be absolutely massive, and it would make the most sense if you had a mono. And I think mono is probably most likely, just because I don't think I've seen a mono yet, so. Really taking his time here. And winning on a VP. that you bought from the dev card stack, and that's a fair play. Not a super even dice distribution, but that's what happens with random dice. Pretty even resource distribution. I think we saw that it was a pretty balanced game overall, and no row builders played. So I guess the monos were played, so I was mistaken. But interestingly enough, the highest resource count was orange, but black ended up winning. And that's an amazing game played by these fellows, and it's a great game one, a featured game one, and I'm glad you guys got to sit in and watch that with me. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys for game two.